Hello, welcome to another episode of Mother, Baby and Us.
Today we are going over our trip to Las Vegas and what we did with WPPI.
Mother, Baby and Us. Okay, let's just jump straight in then. WPPI. We've wanted to go for so long.
Yeah, years.
Like since 2020, I would say, when we first discovered it through Karen Bagley. So for anybody who doesn't know what WPPI is, it is the Wedding Portrait Photographers, I want to say invitational?
No idea.
Producer Nick was going to Google it there while we were talking about it. Basically, it's a convention for wedding and portrait photographers.
Yes.
And it's just absolutely cram-packed with speakers and classes, and there's a trade show floor with loads of vendors that we can't get in.
Booths.
Yeah, there's a whole row of shooting bays where there's really cool models and setups, and there's photo walks that you can go out into the strip and into different locations.
It's really good for like starters to build portfolio and stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, it is great for people who are just starting out to get a portfolio built, and also just to absorb knowledge of people. Like there was no sort of hierarchy.
No.
Like I think we've said this before in one of the vlogs. Like there was, you walked into a room and you're in the same room as like all these people that you've looked up to for so long, like Kelly Brown, like Caroline Tran and all these people, and they're on the same show floor as you, looking at the same equipment as you, and they will stop and be like, hiya, what are you doing? And like, oh, we're going to see you in Birmingham. And like they all speak to you like you're their equal. Well, kind of, like you kind of are, but like you just absorb so much knowledge of people just by having chats with people, and nobody was like, oh, I'm a better photographer than you, so I'm not speaking to you. Everything was just like,
it was just nice, wasn't it?
Everyone was so lovely.
Yeah,
I absolutely loved it.
me too. Completely different atmosphere to the shows that we've been to over here. I mean, it's on the same kind of flow as the newborn and portrait show that we used to have.
Yeah, kind of.
Where everything is kind of like nice and everyone speaks to each other.
Yeah.
Whereas other shows that we've been to, there's been kind of...
It's quite clicky, innit?
Yeah.
It's clicky, and like
Not...
if like when they say, oh, what kind of photographer are you? Or they read your lanyard and then see that you're a maternity newborn photographer, and it's like, oh, they're not real photographers.
Yeah.
They're just mothers with cameras.
Yeah. Yeah, so it was just nice to kind of be accepted into it all.
Yeah.
There was so much for, like, in terms of maternity.
Yeah.
So, like, there was plenty of people that we went to see speaking on maternity. And obviously we had Kelly there for newborn. But yeah, it was fabulous, wasn't it?
It was lovely. Did we learn what it was?
Wedding and Portrait Photographers International.
Oh, international.
Makes more sense.
Yeah, I don't know where I got invitational from. Made it up. But anyway, now we know.
Yes. So
Let's go through it.
yes, as it happened.
Yeah, what's that word?
Chronological.
Chronologically. Well done. That was good off the top of your head.
Making out like I'm not smart. I'm just...
Brain fog, I meant.
Yeah.
Anyway, day one. Travelling day.
Yeah.
Horrendous day.
It was just very uncomfortable, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It's a long...
I mean, it didn't start off uncomfortably.
No.
The
'cause we were
drive
in
up was
lounge.
the drive up was stressful because we left a lot later than we should have, because we thought it was... I don't know why.
I don't know what
it was gonna take us an
happened.
hour and a
I
half.
have no idea what happened, because we are planners. We plan everything down to the last minute. And for some reason, we had written down that we needed to leave the house at 11:30. And then when we realised that the car drop-off was at 12,
Yeah.
and it was in London, that...
Which is like nearly 3 hours away. The car drop-off was nearly 3 hours away.
So that made it quite stressful in the beginning.
Yeah. But we got there. It was
we did, yeah.
we laughed our way through it. It was fine. Got our bags all dropped off, realised we had priority baggage, priority boarding and everything else. Lovely.
Yeah. The lounge was lovely.
And then we got to the lounge. Christy had her champagnes and free food. I watched the Formula One.
Yeah.
Lovely, relaxing. Boarded the plane. Everything was fine.
Yeah.
Not a lot of space for Palmer.
Now, Palmer, our videographer, you have seen him many a time over. He produced a few of our podcasts back in the beginning, and you'll have seen him in loads of different vlogs. Now, he came with us on this trip. he is primarily a wedding photographer, but obviously he does all of our videography as well, where he can.
Does branding as well now, doesn't he?
He does do branding as well. Now, he is 6'7".
I don't think he is 6... Is he 6'7"?
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is 6'7". He told so many people when we were away.
Yeah, you know what I'm like, number dyslexia.
He's 6'7", and obviously that is very, very tall. For me and Abigail, who are 5'2", we don't have issues in normal seats on airplanes. But poor Palmer's legs are longer than the
Then we are tall.
yeah, they are. Yeah, longer than the gap that they meant to fit in. So his knees go like either side of the chair in front of him, which is even more uncomfortable than it is for us on an 11-hour flight.
Yeah.
And the guy in front was not courteous at all and decided he wanted to recline fully.
Yeah,
I mean,
the
he couldn't
whole
recline
entire
fully
flight.
because it physically wouldn't go back because Palmer's knees were jammed in it. But
He did have his knees jammed in a chair the whole entire flight, love him.
I bet he had some bruises.
Probably, because he was he proper was like
Yeah.
pushing it back, like.
And I feel like you just shouldn't do it. I just think it's
Christy
etiquette.
trying to be controversial on a podcast.
No, I just think it's etiquette. You don't recline your seat in it. I don't like having a seat in my face. I wouldn't do it to the person behind me, so just don't do it to the person behind you in it, and then everyone's happy.
Yeah, I don't really understand why they make the economy seats reclinable.
Yeah.
There's not enough space.
Especially if you've got something on that, like you flap down your tray, you put your food on it, you've got a drink on it, the person in front of you puts it back and your drink's on your
I
lap.
was writing something on my notebook when and I nearly got a seat head hit me in the head. Like mental. But anyway.
Yes. But apart from that, the flight just wasn't very nice
it was
because of the weather and the turbulence. And
We had weather warnings for wind in Vegas, which caused a lot of flights to be turned around and not allowed to land. I think they were only letting long-haul flights land, if I'm honest, because they had flown for so long.
Yeah.
I don't know what my rationale is behind that, but the
Well,
only
no, 'cause
ones I
it's
know
hard
of
to
that
divert.
landed.
Yeah, when they've already flown, like the
Yeah.
petrol.
They run on petrol. I don't
They
know.
will.
Anyway, I have no idea. But anyway,
Not diesel, is it?
they let us land, but we had to circle for like an extra hour.
Yeah.
The staff weren't great on the flight out.
No.
They were quite rude. So
Yeah.
it was just an uncomfortable flight all round when 11 hours.
But we got there. We were in one piece.
Yeah, just about.
Things went kind of smoothly when we landed. Like we didn't have to wait.
Yeah,
in any
transfers were
queues.
lovely. Like we accidentally booked them transfer. We didn't accidentally book them, but like we left it to the last minute and just booked
Whatever we could.
something like on the fly, and that was lovely. Lovely. Was it
Yeah.
a BM picked us up?
Yeah, nice big.
SUV thing, like electric thing. That was lovely.
Yeah.
Very comfortable, considering like after we'd come off that flight, it was
Yeah, what we needed.
uber comfort. And then we pulled up to our hotel, which
Yeah.
was like
We stayed in Paris, Las Vegas, and it's really weird in there walking in there
Surreal.
because the ceiling is painted like the sky, and you've got like the base of the Eiffel Tower coming into the hotel lobby and like up through a ceiling,
yeah,
and it's painted like not painted, it's all styled as if you're walking down a Parisian street, and it's just well,
weird.
it is weird, yeah, but it's just. I feel like you need to walk through it to experience it. I don't feel like you could ever.
Explain.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very strange.
Fabulous, though.
Yeah, got told by the woman who was checking us in, do not make eye contact with anybody outside of the hotel. It's full of crazy people.
Yeah.
Which was sound advice, I think.
Yeah, because we did see quite a few crazies.
We did, yeah.
Yeah.
But no, hotel was lovely. Transfers were great. We just had lack of sleep at that point then, didn't we? Jet lag.
Jet lag.
I didn't expect to have jet lag on the way out, which sounds silly, but every other time I've gone to America, I've got there, I've gone to sleep, I've woken up, and I've been like, I'm fine now. And the jet lag has been an issue when I've got back. It's been the complete opposite this time.
It was.
Apart from I was dreadfully ill when I got back, but
Yeah.
like I slept when I got home, and I was
me.
fine.
Yeah, me too. But out there, I don't know. I've never experienced jet lag. Even when like I've done Florida and
I feel like you've just forgotten about it.
well, I don't know. It's just I don't know what I was expecting jet lag to feel like, but it was just I physically couldn't sleep for more than 3 or 4 hours in one stint. Odd.
It was ridiculous. We were up at 3 o'clock every morning editing vlogs and
Yeah,
down in the cafe having a coffee.
yeah, we were in Denny's having breakfast most mornings at like 5.
Yeah, with the drunk people. They were still out from the night before, and we were getting up and
Mad, innit?
having breakfast, ready for the day.
Yeah,
Yeah, so travelling was fine. It wasn't great, but it was fine.
it was fine. Yeah,
On our track record, like I
that
would
was
put up to a win.
marvelous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then day 1 of actual WPPI. What happened then?
we just kind of got
Oh,
our
registration
bearings.
day.
Yeah, we just.
Oh, I had a free tote that says photographer.
Oh, yes.
Love a tote.
Yeah. That was good. Carried out the entire week.
We did, yeah. Picked up my mobility scooter,
Yeah,
which was a godsend.
it was.
As much as I felt really silly being in it because I was
And I
getting
took-
funny looks.
I took the mick out of her for weeks building up to.
Yeah. It's just not awkward. Because when I see other people in mobility scooters that are kind of my age or whatever and look physically abled, like I don't look at them and go, oh, what are they doing in that chair? Oh, they look weird. Like I don't think that about other people. I don't know why I thought people would think that about me.
Because people do. And more so the older generation
Yeah, I suppose.
will look at you and think, well, why are you going around to that? Lazy.
Yeah, but nobody like
No, it didn't.
batted an eyelid over there. I think it's just this country that
Yeah.
that situation happens. Anyway, my mobility scooter was absolutely great. It meant that I was able to keep up with UPay the whole entire week. And
And we could dump all our stuff in her basket.
I love my little basket. Yeah, it just made things so much easier, didn't it? And so much more comfortable.
I was really disappointed it didn't have a beeping noise there when you reversed.
Yeah, my other one did, didn't it?
Yeah.
I was really sad that I couldn't do wheelies in it, but there we are. Yeah, so that was great. And then we went to what we thought was going to be the opening party, but was like a meet and greet situation for people who'd been before, wasn't it?
Yeah, I feel like it was just kind of, if you've been and you've made friends previously, just an excuse
little
for you to
catch
get
up.
together and yeah.
Have a little chin wag before the actual event starts.
Well, it
was fine. It wasn't anything bad. It was just like a room full of people we didn't know who were all talking to each other. And
I did have a conversation with one guy that kind of put a dampener in our main shoot because we had planned to do a shoot in Valley of Fire,
Yeah.
which, how long did that take us to get there?
An hour.
To drive? An hour, yeah. So it's just an hour off the strip, which was a fabulous location, and we still made the most of our time there. We'll get to that in a minute. But he informed us that if we wanted to take a model, we need a permit. Now, when we had read up on this before leaving, the permit said if it's for, what was it for?
I can't remember.
Commercial. But this wasn't a paid client. This was something that we were shooting for ourselves, and it wasn't technically commercial. So we were like, oh, it's fine. It's not commercial. But he told us that they are hot on it. If they see you with professional gear, because obviously we got like our flash, all of our bits, and a model, then it is classed as commercial. And the fines are in the thousands.
Yeah.
And it takes 30 days to get a permit. So at that point,
3 days out.
3 days before, yeah, it wasn't going to happen. So that did put a bit of a spanner in the works, and we had to kind of do a little shift in what we were
But it's fine.
planning on.
We're quite good at that.
Yeah, it happens everywhere we go, doesn't it?
Yeah. You just got to kind of pivot and find something else.
Yes.
So yeah, that did put a span in the works.
But like I spoke to him then,
Yeah.
and not turn up on the day with a model and then get fined.
Yeah.
That would have been expensive.
It would have. Would have had wings. Okay, so day 2 was...
My coffee nearly come up my nose then.
Day 2 was first day of classes,
Yes. Starting at 8:30 in the morning.
which I didn't mind. We were already up
No,
away. It was
because
nice to get it just...
We'd had breakfast at 5:30, so like it didn't
Yeah,
bother
it
us.
was like it felt like the middle of the day at that point.
Yeah.
My first class. What was my first class? Oh, I did off-camera flash. So that guy was really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did 5-figure sales.
Oh, you didn't like that one.
No, I didn't like it. I just feel like she wasn't an us photographer.
Yeah, she was the complete opposite of what everything we believe in. She was the opposite.
And if I'm completely
Perhaps
honest,
that's why we skint.
if I'm completely honest, I felt quite alienated during her talk. I still wrote loads of notes and I still took plenty from that class. I'm glad I went. But I feel like the attitude could have shifted a little bit to not alienate people who take photos of newborn babies in baskets, which was one thing that she made a big joke out of, which made me feel really like, oh God, I'm in the minority in this room, because everyone was laughing and joking along with her. And there was some comments on...
taking photos of babies in baskets.
I know, and like about posing and
Oh yeah, she didn't like posing people.
no, and there was just a few comments. Everyone's allowed their opinion, and this is what we do. And just because it's what we do, not everybody's gonna
Yeah,
want
but
that.
if we were in a room full of photographers, we wouldn't be like,
wouldn't.
"On if you don't pose people, then you were rubbish."
Yeah, I wouldn't.
And that was your attitude.
Yeah, she did. I did feel very alienated, so that's why I didn't enjoy that one. But I still got an awful lot of information out of it.
Yeah.
I got quite a lot of notes. I think that was the one I took the most notes in, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
Mm.
How not to run a business. Yeah. And then my next class was blogging. Like it was all, I did all the classes that involved, like the admin side, I would call it the admin side, the blogging, the email marketing and all that sort of stuff,
Yeah.
which are the unsexy classes, as somebody, I think the blogging woman mentioned.
I did a couple of those though, like the 5-figure sales and in-person sales and that
Yeah,
kind
you
of
didn't say they
stuff.
long or do.
I stayed the full length, even when I was alienated in the corner because I take pictures of babies in a basket. But I got to do the fun one. To be fair, the fun ones that I went to, you ended up tagging along with me anyway, so you were making out like, oh, I don't get to do the fun ones, and you came along with all of them.
Well, yeah, I felt like I was missing out. Anyway, one of the admin ones that I really enjoyed was Natalie Frankie's email marketing.
Yeah.
That was really good. Palmer came to that one with me and he was like, I feel like this woman could run for president.
Yeah.
She was just so like
Flow desk, that isn't it?
Flow Desk, yeah. I
Yeah.
think she runs Flow Desk. She was just so knowledgeable about it, everything. And like somebody would ask a question and she would like instantly know the answer, and in-depth answer. It wasn't just a generalized answer. It was really in-depth, and she'd like bring up her screen and show people things on a screen. So I really enjoyed that one. I mean, email marketing should be as boring as like talks come, but like I really enjoyed it.
Well, you both came out to that and you were...
Both pumped, like.
Yeah. So I was quite surprised because I think email marketing was the one that was the butt of all the jokes on the run-up to leaving for the trip. I get to go and watch maternity and newborn tutorials, and you get to go to email marketing. But I think that's the one that had the most excitement, and as soon as you left, you were like, we need to sign up to Flow Desk, like it's amazing.
Yeah.
And we have, haven't we?
We have.
I feel like we need to put a little link somewhere for people that don't know about Flow Desk or don't have.
I will put it in the bio below.
Yes.
The description below.
Because we got a little offer, didn't we? But I think you get an offer.
I've got a link that you can have 50% off your first year.
Fabulous. There we are.
Yeah, it was. I think it was worth it that we all split up and did different things. As much as I
definitely
didn't want to go and do the boring ones.
Yeah.
They weren't that boring in the end, and it meant that we could all kind of take knowledge from everyone and then come together, and we did a little debrief session, didn't we? And I think it was worth it.
Yeah, because there would have been so many classes that we would have missed the notes from.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely. I'm glad we sat down and went through every class and made a point of making sure somebody was in the classes that we really wanted to get. Yeah. And some of them didn't turn out how we wanted them, and not everybody stayed through the entirety of every one of the lessons.
No, but we went and like made sure first, and then went, right, okay, this is not working, let's go to plan B and go to a different class.
Yeah. And I think if you're going to do WPPI and you've never done it before, I think that's definitely the way to do it.
Yeah.
There's always people popping in and out of classes, especially if you've got like photo walks planned and things like that. They sometimes
get up and
they sometimes go over the top of some of the classes and things. So yeah, it's expected, and I think it's nice that you can do that and you don't feel like you have to sit and listen to an entire talk from someone if it's not going to benefit you, if you're not going to gain anything from it. It's just.
I mean, it was a little bit awkward for me to like leave the room because I was in a mobility scooter, so that was awkward. So I wouldn't have been able to leave, but I didn't want to leave the classes I was in anyway, so it was fine.
Yeah.
Apart from the one that I was in with you, so you just opened the door for me and.
I did. I had to escape.
Yeah. The day one of the actual event then was the day that jet lag got us. We were like, right, we've finished our classes for the day. Let's go up, have a nap in the hotel, and get ready because we were going to the fundy party because they were doing a launch party in a really cool bar that we were supposed to meet in Karen Bagley in, but she wasn't able to come to the actual event in the end. Like she missed the whole of WPPI. So we were gutted about that. We were like, oh, let's just go and have a nap because we're not meeting Karen now. And we'll get ready for the fundy party. We'll still go. And then slept through the whole fundy party. Like
we woke
literally
up.
The whole party.
Woke up and the fundy party had been and gone.
Like literally gone. Like I was like, the party ends in like 15 minutes.
I'm really gutted that we didn't get to go there because
it looked so cool.
That bar, it did look really fun, didn't it?
Yeah.
So next year we're gonna have to make a point.
But apparently,
it's not gonna be there next year.
It's not, no. But apparently, not even the people who were like the ambassadors that were supposed to be in the party even got in because it was such a small bar
Yeah.
that they didn't, like, they closed the doors on the ambassadors who
I
were...
don't think they anticipated the turnout, did they?
No. Well, they were giving away 300 free drinks for every ambassador. And there was like 5 or 6 ambassadors
Yeah.
in a bar that didn't even like fit like 1,000 people in.
Yeah.
So that's ridiculous. Anyway,
So we rushed and got
we
ready.
missed that. We got ready because the opening night party, the actual opening party for WPPI was being held around the corner from that bar in a different club
Yeah.
in the Mirage Hotel. That was like a blur, if you ask me. We turned up.
Thoroughly enjoyed myself.
The queue was miles long
Yeah.
because we were so late and people had been queuing there from like before the fundy party, I assume. When they couldn't get in the fundy party, they just must have started queuing for the other one.
You've never seen so many people in a line in all my entire life.
No, it was ridiculous. We got very lucky
We did, yeah.
in that somebody in the queue was like, "Girls, you with us?" And we don't condone cutting the line.
No, we do not. But if we didn't, we would never have ended up inside the party. And
We needed to be in that party.
we did, yeah.
So we did cut the line, and I do apologise if you didn't get in.
No, she don't care.
It was a free bar.
I made the most of that free bar. Few too many tequilas.
She made the most of it for both of us because I wasn't drinking.
Yeah. I mean, you had one.
I mean,
And then add water. I mean, I was getting you water every time I went up to get my
great.
2 tequilas and a wine.
Who drinks tequila and wine? Gross. Anyway, Christy got very merry, nearly took Caroline Tran off her feet.
Do you know what? She called me cute. So she
If
appreciated
anybody doesn't know Caroline Tran, she is an amazing photographer.
She is.
She was a speaker at the event and she like did a million different talks in different places because everybody wanted to hear Caroline Tran talking because she's lush. And I was really excited to meet her, but Christy was very drunk when we met her and she gave her the biggest cut that she nearly fell over.
She appreciated the cutch.
Great. Hug. I just realised what we said. A cutch is Welsh for hug. And yeah, so I had to apologise to her the next day.
And she said, it's fine, she's cute. I'm happy with that.
Yeah. What else happened in the opening party? Oh, we met the only other Welsh person in the whole of Vegas.
Oh my God, yeah.
I mean, it probably wasn't the only other person,
No.
but in WPPI it was.
You was having a conversation with him and I had no idea what he was. And then he turned around to me and started speaking. I was like, of all the accents I was expecting to come out your mouth, a Welsh one, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, so WPPI have an app that you can kind of connect with people before you go. There's also a community page on Facebook that you can connect with people before you go because it's all about like networking and getting to know each other and whatever. It's all about the community, which is lush. And you can see where people are from. So I had looked for the people coming from the UK to see if we knew anybody going and happened upon him who was coming from Wales. And I was like, oh, look, it's another Welsh person. Great. Like, you just remember that then, don't you? He's a Welsh person. So that stuck in my head. Then he had commented on the photo that we had put of us leaving to go to in the WPPI group, saying we're on our way.
Was he on our flight?
No, he'd already got there.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, oh, right, okay. Like I'd seen his picture a couple of times and like I'd spoke to him at that point because we'd had a conversation on that thread. So when I seen him on the dance floor, it just like
Twigged. Oh, that's
it just
the person
I was
I'd
just
spoken
like,
to.
oh my God, he's right there. That was weird. And I was like, are you from Llanelli? And he caught me on his stories going, are you from Llanelli? Over the top of the music that was so loud. It was just really weird. It's just one of them surreal things, and just hearing another Welsh accent after like days of not hearing any Welsh accents was lovely. So that's nice.
Yeah.
And then I had to drag Christy away from there like Cinderella at 12 o'clock because we had classes at Apathy the next morning
And I
and
wasn't ready to leave.
it was closing at 12.
They were after parties.
No, you have to pay for drinks then. I'm not paying for drinks out there. It's 50 quid a drink.
I'm like, extortionate.
Actually $50 a drink.
Silly. Yeah, so I went home to bed. We went home to bed.
We went home to bed. And then Christy was still drunk when we woke up the next morning.
Went for a Denny's. I don't quite remember it happening. The only reason I believe that it happened is because there was video evidence of me and Denny's eating breakfast.
Yeah, it's on the vlog.
5 o'clock in the morning or whatever time it was. Definitely still drunk.
Palmer fresh as a daisy because he slept through the whole entire party because he didn't come with us. And then Christy just steaming.
Yeah.
Got nothing to say.
No.
day 2 of the event, I had a photo walk planned, but Caroline Tran wasn't even on our groups. They split us into 2 groups, and I didn't go with Caroline Tran, which I was really sad about.
I was going to say, you come back and told me how sad you was.
Yeah, Christy stayed in bed that day.
I wasn't booked onto the photo walk anyway. Was I not?
No, he wasn't.
No.
So I did the photo walk, which was really cool because I got to use the new medium format Fujifilm camera, which was lush. And I wouldn't have been able to experience that without doing the photo walk, because it's like absolute fortunes. I think it's like $7,500
just for body.
$7,500 just for the body without the lens, and then the lens was like God knows how much. It was just a ridiculous amount of money in my hands, and I was like, they were like, we got your driving license so that you bring the cameras back, and I was like, I can get a new driving license. That'll cost me nothing when I get home.
I'm sure they only charge you like 50 quid, don't they? If you need to renew
so.
If you've lost it and need to do a new one. That's a hell of a bargain. I know. If you come home with that camera,
I mean, you probably would have got like felony charges as well, like for theft or something, but still. Yeah, so the photo walk was really cool. And we got to try the new system. That's all on the vlog. I'm not going to go into depth about that, but like if you want to watch it, I'll put a link to the vlog. And then what else did we do? Oh, then we had classes again in the afternoon. The trade show had
I was going to
opened.
say, yeah, the trade show floor.
So we had a quick look around there, me and Palmer, came back, got you, and we went back to classes.
Kelly Brown.
Yes.
The class I was
Most excited
so excited.
We got to the front row as well, didn't we? Because
I left my previous class early so that I could make sure I was at the very, very front of the queue, so that I was in the very, very front row. And Abigail was like, I'm just going to come with you. She was meant to
my
be
class had finished, though, hadn't it?
Yeah, but you were meant to be going to a different class.
Oh,
now.
it was going to be rubbish, I could tell.
She just really wanted to come see Kelly Brown. And I was like, yeah, it's fine, I'm at the front of the queue.
But luckily, I did come because you were at the front, but you were over to the side and we wouldn't have seen anything. And then somebody came up. Was it that class? Or was it a different one?
No, that was a different class.
Oh, okay.
No, but I was the first person in the queue, Abigail, so I had front row. I was there, boy. I weren't missing that one.
We weren't actually front row because you had to pay extra for front row, but we were front row of the peasant seats.
Smack bang in the middle, directly in front of Kelly Brown. And we had an awesome view of everything she was showing.
It was really good.
Everything she demonstrated. Couples posing for newborns, which, yeah, it just made sense, didn't it?
Yeah.
It's fabulous. And it was just nice to hear her talk. Because we've seen her talk so many times online.
Yeah.
But it's nice to see her in real person, in real life. And
it was lovely to actually speak to her again because we've met her before now.
Yeah.
But now we've like met her every day for like 5 days in a row. And she was like, oh God, here they come again. So yeah.
Yeah. So, and she'll be back in London again for, is it London? Or is it Coventry
Coventry Click Live, or whatever it's called.
New show starting this year. So that'd be nice. We get to see it again.
Yeah. We haven't actually got tickets, but we'd love to buy them.
We will absolutely get tickets. And I feel like we are now friends with Kelly Brown.
I would not put it like that, because you will have a restraining order before she gets to Coventry.
She told us to go and speak to her. She told us to come find her and have a chat to her, and that's what we did. And I feel like I'm Kelly Brown's friend.
Jeez Louise.
But no, we got lost from the class. Thoroughly enjoyed it. And that was the last one of that day, wasn't it? Yeah. And there was no doing anything that evening. We went...
What did we actually do that evening?
Did we get food and eat it in bed? Oh, we had Panda Express.
We did. We left. We got a Panda Express. Drove it home. I wheeled it home in my little...
We put the Panda Express. We didn't put it in the basket because it wouldn't fit. Abigail had on a lap and held it for her life.
Yeah, guarded it with my life.
Yeah.
Like my firstborn child, not my unborn child. Like my firstborn child, I guarded it with my life on my lap.
Yeah.
Kept me lovely and warm on the way home on my little mobility scooter. And then we got into bed, put our pajamas on.
Face mask night. Was that face mask night?
No, that wasn't face mask night, I don't think.
Pajamas. And what do we watch on a telly?
The Proposal.
Yeah.
With Ryan Reynolds and Sandra Bullock. It was a lovely evening.
It was a really nice evening. I enjoyed myself thoroughly.
Yeah. Chinese in bed.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, and I think that was the first night we all slept through and actually had a full night's sleep. And we slept until like 5 o'clock the next morning.
Yeah.
Full night's sleep. Like fuller night's sleep.
Yeah.
Because 5 o'clock we were in the cafe downstairs editing the vlog.
Eating croissants.
Yeah. But the vlog needed editing anyway, so it was better to get it over and done with first thing in the morning than like
Absolutely.
try and find time during the day. So that got done. And then what happened on day 3?
We did the show floor,
Yeah.
and it's the first time that we met Kayla and her husband.
Kayla and Rick. I want to say, what his name on everything is Rickalicious. So I want to say Rick. But his name might be Richard.
Okay. So Kayla and her husband. Kayla makes the most fantastic wings we have ever come across.
They're on our channel. Just go to like our last couple of videos, you'll find them.
Yeah. And we were just blown away. I mean, there's other people that make wings.
There was other people there that were making wings.
Yeah, but hers stood out because they are 2 separate pieces that are corseted together. So the movement was phenomenal, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I think it just sold it to us, didn't it? And there was a pair of wings on display. There was a colour that we use quite regularly, and people always request that colour.
Yeah.
I feel like it's now our signature colour.
I don't know how it's become our signature colour because it annoys me a little bit. But
It's like that lovely deep tealy
yeah,
blue, green, blue.
greeny blue. I would say it's green more than blue, but you always say it's blue. They're amazing.
Yeah.
And I love them pair as well. They felt like our people.
Definitely our kind of people. So that was the first time we'd seen those wings, and we did nothing but talk about them after that, did we?
Yeah. Like we walked away and we were like, we're going back for them wings. If they're still there when we walk past next time, they're ours.
Yeah.
And they're still there, so they're ours.
They are ours, yeah. They're now in the studio.
Oh, and I bought a soft box.
Abigail broke our softbox and then had to replace the softbox.
I mean, you say that like I did something to break it. It's just a very flimsy soft box in it, and it was never going to be like we always bought it going, we need a better one than this. This is like
It'll do job.
it'll do for now because I couldn't find anything that I actually wanted that I liked.
Yeah.
I was like, when I see it, I'll know what I want. And then I walked past there and I was like, that's what I need.
It was just so simple, wasn't it? So easy.
Love it.
Company that we hadn't heard of before.
Yeah.
We now love them.
Yep.
We can stick a link for that below as well.
These links are going to be like never ending.
Well, yeah, there's a lot to talk about.
There is, yeah.
The people watching might really want to go and see this softbox, Abigail, so we best put a link.
They should.
Yeah.
It's one of these flip boxes that it's very pro photo-esque where it just collapses, it's magnetized and everything else. But, you know, these companies like to kind of patent their own designs of these things. So, yeah, it's just a different version of that. And I absolutely love it.
Yeah.
Like, so simple, so easy.
Yeah. Quick.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Done.
So that was great. I was excited about that.
Yeah. And the fact that it's magnetized and it just clicks, it's just satisfying, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, so that was really good because it meant that we were able to use that for the sessions for the rest of the week. And it elevated our portraits.
Absolutely. The class that I think gave us the most that day was Sophia Barrett.
Love her. What an absolute goddess of a woman.
Yes. She just looked phenomenal. She just got up on that stage and she was just like,
That's what I
beautiful.
mean. She was, yeah. And spoke so much sense.
Yeah. Love it. Little husband and wife team. He films everything that she's doing.
He had a DJI Osmo 3 and I was tamping. I tried my hardest to get one to go and they were out of stock everywhere. Couldn't get my hands on one. I was so sad. It made me so sad.
I know it made you so sad. I heard about it every second of every day. But if you had bought that, we wouldn't have had no budget to buy the wings. So, you know,
literally every time I turned around, somebody was filming on one. I was like, get out of my face.
I feel like it worked out for the best because we wouldn't have come away without.
I prefer the camera.
Rude. Yeah. So she was somebody that we followed on Instagram anyway.
Yeah.
What her style of maternity is a little bit different to what we do because she builds all of her sets and they're very big and elaborate.
Yes, very surreal kind of.
Yeah. And it's fabulous.
Very creative.
Very, very creative. It's not what we do. It's not our style of just what we produce, but we still absolutely love it. And it's still nice to see how everybody else kind of...
I like to take inspiration from loads of different places. And the way she creates like her ideas was a really unique way of doing it that we took a lot of information from, to me.
Yeah.
She spoke so much sense of how
She
she designs her sessions.
And as much as what she does is very different to what we do, we could still take a lot of what she does, and we obviously know that works for her, and implement it into what we do and make it work for us.
Yeah.
And I just think she's just fabulous. So I'm very glad that we ended up going to that one. Yeah, definitely took the most out of that one that day.
Yeah.
And
then it was the closing party, which
was
was a fancy dress party, 80s fancy dress, but they didn't announce the theme until like 2 weeks before we went, and it just wasn't enough time. Because if you're going to do a fancy dress party, like competition, like I'm winning or I'm not going. Like that's the options.
yeah, we had plenty of ideas and just not enough time to put them together, did we?
No, like
To the level we wanted.
I didn't have time to get my sewing machine out. Like I couldn't get material in time. And like if I'm going big, if I'm going, I'm going big.
Yeah. So we scrapped the dress up side of it. We still attended.
Just not dressed up.
Yeah.
And I feel like we got to that party too early. Like we went from one extreme to the other.
Because of what happened on the opening party, we thought we ain't going to do that this time. Got there super early. And there was nobody there. And I feel like by the time everyone started arriving, we were a bit like...
Because it was classes still letting out when we arrived. And I was like, well, this is silly.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was no like... It was either you got there too early or got there too late. Like there was no in between. So we ended up leaving early, didn't we?
We did, yeah.
But that was fine. Like...
Was that face mask night?
Yes.
If anybody would like to see a 6'7" man wearing a face mask and
don't tell anybody because he told me I wasn't allowed to put it on the internet.
and the hair, what are they called?
I don't know. It was a bow though.
Big bow on his head, big blue bow on his head and a face mask. Go check out our vlog because it's on there.
Tamping. He's going to be absolutely livid when he
We
finds out.
haven't realised that we've put that on a vlog.
He's told me that he's watched our vlogs and I know for a fact he haven't.
Yeah, you haven't got like to stand up there, have you?
No. So, we had face masks and an early night because the next day we went to pick up the car. We had the last day on the show floor, so we went and bought our wings, but Sony wanted to borrow them for a photo booth.
And to be fair, Kayla was like, I'll just ship them to you. And we were like,
No, we're using them wings tomorrow.
Yeah. And then there was a rigmarole trying to find out a way of getting them home. But it's fine. We made it work. So we bought the wings and loaded them
to Sony, within 10 minutes. Should have charged them, I just realised.
No.
But anyway, they would just use somebody else's. Bought the wings, had another look around the show floor.
Yeah.
One last time and said goodbye to people that were leaving that day because there was lots of vendors leaving that day that we had met and kind of got a relationship with, which was lovely because like next year when we go now, like we're going to know loads of people so we can go to the meet and greets and actually talk to people.
Yeah.
But it's nice because we've come home and like we're still in conversation with loads of different people now, so that's good. So yeah, we did the show floor and then we went straight over to the Venetian to pick up our car because we'd rented a car for the last half of the week so that we could do our sessions in the different locations.
And the best part about that was the fact that we got to walk through the video.
I know. We all walked in through the front door and went, oh my God, we're shooting in here.
Yeah, so the fact that we lost shooting location was absolutely fine because we found another one accidentally.
Yeah, which is usually what happens to us, really.
That is a hotel that is on par with Paris. I feel like it's a little bit...
Yeah, it looks a bit more upscale.
Yeah, it does, yeah. But they've got full-on like gondolas going through the middle of the... on a little river going through the middle of the hotel and like the ceiling painted like the Sistine Chapel. It's just...
They've got a whole shopping like mall inside as well, haven't they?
Yeah, it's just mind-boggling. Madness, these hotels. But yeah, it was fabulous and we thought we were going to have to make the most of this one.
Yeah, so we picked up the car, took it back to our hotel, packed up our stuff, ready to go shoot, and we went straight to the Valley of Fire.
We did.
Did a Walmart run first though. Love a Walmart run.
Picked up the snacks and the drinks.
All my Minute Maid lemonade. And yeah, went to Valley of Fire. By the time we got to Valley of Fire, we didn't realise we only had an hour to shoot.
Still charged us full price to get in there, mind.
They did, yeah. No
Didn't
info.
tell us.
Yeah. But we got a lot of branding shots done.
What?
We still haven't edited them yet. We need to get...
I know. We've not been enough time since we got home. What a surreal experience driving through the Valley of Fire.
Strange.
It's like a movie set, isn't it?
It is. And when you get out, it is deathly silent. Apart from it was quite a windy day, so we had a bit of wind down again. But when that wind died down, like the...
Not a sound. Not a single sound.
Like I've never experienced nothing, like not hearing anything before.
Because there's always a car or something, or there's always
A
something.
bird or...
Yeah, but there was nothing. It was desert.
It was just very strange.
Yeah, really surreal.
Yeah. But like driving through there was like driving to another world. It was so like surreal.
Could have been on Mars.
We could have
Very
been on
weird.
Mars. Could have. If you told me, oh, we're going to drive through Mars now, and then I drove through there, I'd be like, yeah,
Yeah.
that reads
Yeah.
ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. But it was amazing. And like,
And we had fun, didn't we, for that?
yeah, it was a
1 hour
really,
that we were
that was a
allowed
really good road trip.
there. Yeah.
Yeah, and I can't wait to go back, like, and do a full day there.
Yeah.
Because they charge you per car per day. So like, they charge us for a full day for a car
For an hour.
for an hour. But still.
Yeah, and we still didn't realise this because obviously they didn't tell us this until we were halfway down a trail and we heard what they called
Whoop, whoop. State troopers.
state trooper with the siren on.
Did they sound like that though? Whoop, whoop. It
It
sounded like
was.
somebody like taking the mick.
It was, yeah, and then come over the speaker. You need to return from the trail.
Anybody on the trails needs to return to their vehicles and now leave because the park is now closed. And I was like, it's a desert. How can you close the desert?
I know, mad. So
But yeah.
we had a police escort back to
We did, yeah.
the front gate.
To make sure we had actually left.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was a really cool road trip.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to go back and do a full day there
Oh yeah.
because we needed a full day to explore all the bits because we only got to see such a small portion.
Yeah, and even if it is just more Brandon shots again next time, I can take a change of outfit and we can do like, oh my god, transition videos.
I mean, we were saying that they weren't allowing people to take photos, but there was clearly people doing commercial photos. I mean, they might have had a permit, but they were there at the end of the day, so I don't know.
I mean, one guy blocked the entire road off with his car, so
He was
that
doing a car shoot.
yeah, so that he could like he
He had lights in and everything. Like,
did, yeah.
so I feel like we could have probably got away with it. We're super quick. Look how fast we got like away with the Venetian shoot in the evening and
Yeah, when we come back, we went back to the Venetian and didn't realise again we weren't meant to shoot there until the very, very polite security
they were
guard.
lovely.
Really
Absolutely
nice.
lovely.
He came up, he was like,
So we'd already shot for like 3 different locations at like different setups at that point, hadn't we? So
Yeah.
we were nigh on done.
yeah,
Because there wasn't an awful lot of difference in the different locations. It was just like we needed to get these 3 bits done. And then there was one more downstairs. And then 2 security guards came over and I was like, excuse me.
I'm really, really sorry, but you can't we don't allow professional photography unless you've requested it previously.
Yeah. Or you work for the Venetian. And we were like,
Yeah.
oh, really sorry, we didn't realise. We'll move on. He was like, oh, thank you so much. I'm really sorry I'm going to stop you.
Really lovely man.
And I'm like, you're apologising for us trespassing, so you're fine. But we did, like, when we went downstairs then to leave, which we were nearly on the sidewalk, to be fair.
Yeah.
We took one more photo.
We
But,
did-
like,
we did 2 setups down there. We did
Okay, we did
along
2.
there and then under the arch. So we did. But it's okay because like technically we was outside of the hotel.
it was still on the ground, but
It
like,
was on the ground, but it was outside, so
and somebody else was taking photos while we were there,
yeah.
behind us, like a
Wedding
wedding.
ones,
Yeah,
yeah.
so, you know, we weren't the only ones.
No.
I feel like we've told people a lot of information about how we've, like,
Done things illegally and
or just very
Morally
morally wrong. But like, when you're like in a foreign country and you've got like an allotted amount of time that you've got to get things
you got to
done,
do things
you're like,
on the fly.
yeah, it is what it is. Like, I don't condone it, but like sometimes you got to do what you got to do.
And you know what? We've done it all now and we know what to expect for next year.
Next year we'll have all of the permits.
Yeah, we'll definitely have permits for some places. I feel like a permit is necessary for Valley of Fire so we can actually get
Yeah.
like maternity sessions done there.
Have you seen the price of that permit?
No, we're not doing a permit. We're going to do it on the
No.
fly.
No, we will get a permit.
Okay.
It's just got to have to go in our budget, so you're not buying wings this year, next year. But it's fine 'cause we already own them now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was a really cool shoot. I loved that shoot. We didn't get an awful lot behind the scenes, so it's not an awful lot of it in the vlog because
No.
it was all hands on deck.
It was.
Parma was my what's it called? Voice activated light stand for me
Yeah.
because
We couldn't get up high enough.
we couldn't get up high enough. I don't think I took a light stand
Oh, okay.
because we were doing it on the fly.
Yeah.
We were like, we need to be quick and we don't want to be in anybody's way. So we just took the new soft boxes
Yeah.
and
Got Parma
Parma
to-
held it.
Stand up.
So we didn't get an awful lot behind the scenes.
No.
So
But she was super lush.
she was.
And that was nice because it was a different kind of pregnancy because she was surrogate for somebody and they'd been wanting a baby for 10 years and
Yeah,
that
it
was
was
finally
lovely.
happening. So that was a really lovely story. So that was something different, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Something nice.
yeah.
And then that was it for that evening. I mean, that day was pretty full on and we were exhausted by that point. When we did two sessions. I mean, one was ours, but still.
Yeah.
A lot of driving, a lot of bits going on. So
I don't even think we went for dinner, did we? I think we just had snacks in bed.
yeah, we did. The next day, we did a test shoot, didn't we? In El Dorado.
El Dorado dry lake beds.
Yes.
El Dorado, the place, is a completely different location.
It's in Spain, innit?
No, there's an El Dorado in the US, but like not anywhere near there.
Okay. Yeah, and yeah,
It was in Boulder City.
dry lake bed, which was
Again, very weird.
like the floor was all like quite white and like all cracked and dry lake bed, but it was just long and huge and flat. Like
We got there and we didn't actually know if we were there or not, did we?
no,
Because it didn't look like what it does in pictures.
no, and also if you think of like a lake bed, you think of it being like,
Yeah.
but it was flat, completely flat, like not an awful lot lower than the actual road. So like when it was a lake,
I feel like it's been a dry lake for a long time and they've built the road through it.
okay, that makes more sense because it was just it was as far as the eye could see, all flat. So I was like, is there how way would the lake be? You know,
It was very strange, but it was so cool.
it was cool.
And we got test shots of you to make sure that it was very windy, but like we got them.
How it didn't take off, I don't know, because we were using the silks when we.
It was like a kite.
It was absolutely like a kite, and at one point I thought I might leave the floor. You know,
So windy. It's because it's just so open and there's nothing to like direct any sort of wind anyway. It was just
it was good fun, wasn't it?
yeah, it was good. And then the pregnant person we were using for that session
Couldn't make it.
couldn't make it. So we were like, oh no, we've done this test shot for absolutely nothing. But then we managed to get her in for sunrise instead.
So I'm kind of glad that she couldn't make it on the day that we had originally planned to do her session because we had sunrise instead, which was nice.
Yeah, it was really cool. The colours were a lot different than we would have had. It was harder in ways because I was constantly fighting with the light because it was the sun was rising.
Changing.
It was getting lighter and lighter as I was shooting, so I was fighting against like the lighting constantly. But it made for a really cool session. We picked up the wings off Kegla and used them in El Dorado then, and that was fab. And that was the morning before we flew home. So we got up at 4 o'clock that morning to go and shoot, and then we had to fly home. We weren't flying home until 10:30 in the night, and it was horrendous.
We didn't think that through, did we?
No, we literally was up from 4 o'clock in the morning till God knows what time.
Yeah. I think we went back. We didn't even have time for a nap, did we? We got
We had to
back, packed all our bags, which was a bit of a hairy moment because we were slightly the wrong side of the line on every single one of our suitcases.
Yeah.
We also had to check some extra suitcases because the wings needed to come back as hand luggage, so that meant my hand luggage had to go in hold.
Yeah.
We then decided, on top of all that, we were going to go shopping.
Well, we needed to get
We needed to get presents for the boys and
whoever else.
yeah. We had carrier bags with presents inside a dress bag that also contained wings. So we had to try and make it as inconspicuous as possible.
I mean, I don't feel like they cared.
They
when we
didn't
got
know,
there.
but like on the way out they would have. So that's why we were like trying to make it as inconspicuous as possible. And then we got there and they didn't even take one look at our bags. They were just more concerned with the fact that Palmer was so tall he wasn't going to fit in a seat. Again, didn't care on the way out.
They didn't care on the way out, and like,
No.
how did they think he got there?
Yeah, but he took what the guy behind the desk wasn't even serving us, was down the other end, saw how tall Palmer was, and come over and he was like, how tall are you? He's like 6'7". He's like, I'm going to get you some extra leg room because it's going to be very uncomfortable for you to fly home otherwise. And I thought, well, why didn't they say that on the way out? I mean, I know you can pay for extra leg room, but I feel like that's, for somebody who can't help that they are 6'7", why should he have to pay for leg room? Like, that's just how tall he is. He can't help that, can he? Do you know what I mean? So that was really nice of him. Thank you for that.
Yeah, the staff in America were much nicer, and on the flight on the way home they were just much nicer. I mean, that woman did scare the living crap out of you like 3 or 4 times, but I think after the first time she did it, she was just doing it just because it was funny.
Yeah, she was. So she wouldn't, because obviously I was turned in to speak to Abigail and Palmer, who sat next to me. She wasn't entering my peripheral vision when she was stood next to me, but she would speak to me. So I would be talking to Abigail. Abigail could see her come in, and she'd speak to me, and I'd jump out of my skin when I turned around to see her. It was What was it? Do you want
Chicken or veg? No, chicken or pasta.
Do you want chicken or pasta? And I think my head nearly touched the ceiling. She was like, are you okay? I was like, she frightened me. I didn't expect that. Somebody shouting in my ear, do you want chicken or pasta? Yeah. But yeah, apart from
I
that.
slept for 4 hours and then I did a lot of work on the flight home.
Do you know what? I think we
I
probably...
didn't stop.
Yeah, it was a night flight. Oh my God. Because we were in bulkhead seats, we didn't have like the usual controls for like the lights and stuff above. The control for the light was on the armrest. So Abigail would be sat there and she'd go, ding! And the light would just like, I've got an idea. And this light would just be...
It was funny the first time, wasn't it?
Yeah, but not the 7th or the 8th or the 25th time. For goodness sake, bing! And the people around us who were all trying to sleep, I think found it quite annoying. Every 2 minutes you'd stick your little light on, bing, I've got an idea, notebook would be out. And but to be fair, we did do quite a lot of planning. We put a lot of things down that we needed to...
Game plan for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
It was a good, productive flight.
Yeah.
Palmer slept through the whole thing.
We did, yeah.
Filled him in on the way home.
Yeah. When we got back in the car. But again, very uneventful for us.
Yeah.
Considering every time we fly, there's usually...
lovely.
Yeah, it was. It was really lovely. There's usually some catastrophe that happens. So,
Yeah.
quite...
I mean, did we get delayed leaving? Yeah, the plane broke.
Oh my God, I forgot that even happened. Yeah. There was...
The fuel pump broke on the airplane and they had to wait an hour for somebody to come out and look at it. And then they were like, do you know what? It's fine, we go in. And I was like, that didn't sound like you waited for somebody to fix it. That sounded like you got bored.
I feel like that was I switched the airplane off and switched it back on again and the light disappeared, so we're just going to go for it.
It was, wasn't it?
Yeah, because when he said we're going to wait an hour, we both looked at each other and was like, this is a repeat performance of Paris. And
They were going to get
this flight.
They were getting us off, weren't they? They were
yeah.
preparing to get us off.
Yeah.
And then he was like, nah, it's fine, we're going to go. And I was like, here we go.
Yeah. But it was fine.
I mean, we're not dead, so it's fine.
Yeah. Made Rome in one piece.
We did. The plane made a lot of funny noises, like non-usual funny noises. There was a lot, wasn't it? Like we took off and I was like, that's not a normal noise. I've been on a lot of planes. That's not a noise I've ever
She's
heard.
looking for abnormal noises.
But anyway, I could see in Palmer's eyes. He was like, uh-oh, going down there. We were fine.
Yeah. All in all, I think WPPI was...
A success.
Absolutely.
It wasn't what I expected.
No, it wasn't what I expected either. I think Vegas, as a general rule, wasn't what I was expecting. But I am so glad that we went. I feel like we got so much from it, information-wise, things we can implement into our business, and just being able to speak to people and make connections with suppliers and other photographers.
It's not the same as doing it over email or Zoom or whatever else.
You've got to have an actual conversation with these people. And I feel like that was the biggest thing we took from it, wasn't it? Making the connections with the people that we did.
And as much as we did say this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for us, we're going again next year.
We got it. We have to. It can be really sad if we don't end up going next year.
I know, me too. Take everyone with us next year, though.
Yeah. I feel like everyone needs to experience the WPPI. Well, all of WPPI.
Yeah. It's going to be fun. Thank you for watching or listening to this episode of Mother, Baby and Us.
If you want to see any more content on WPPI in a little more detail, we've got plenty of vlogs for you to check out on our YouTube channel. Make sure you like and subscribe and hit that bell to be notified next time we upload.
Bye.
Bye.
Mother, Baby and Us.